This is the face of your ministry around the world. Children's homes, churches, orphanages, medical clinics, 57 missionaries in 12 different countries, international churches with tens of thousands of members. All this is the fruit of what we do together as the Evangelical Congregational Church. Fruit, like ministry, does not simply appear without a support system. The trees behind me have strong roots, support systems that deliver life-giving nutrients to the branches and the leaves. The same is true in our church. The mission movement of the EC Church has always been heavily motivated and even led by our laity. It's the local mission committees, fellowships, and societies that provide the necessary root structure for our global outreach. Just as a root system supports the whole tree, these local church groups provide the prayer, financial, and personnel support needed to nourish, grow, and provide a solid foundation for this indispensable ministry aspect of our EC Church. The Bible teaches that we are known by our fruit, by what we produce. Over the years, we have produced much spiritual fruit. We currently have 57 missionaries ministering in 12 countries with 20 different sending agencies. We have about 500 international churches in 5 nations, totaling more than 70,000 members. These members are deploying their own missionaries and meeting various kinds of physical, spiritual, and emotional needs. Development projects, children's homes, orphanages, schools, colleges, medical clinics, and churches, all working together to fulfill the Great Commission. But in the midst of all of this great news and global growth, there is a troubling reality, closer to home and under the surface. Our reliable root system has continued to shrink. We have fewer U.S. churches, and we've failed to engage this next generation as rapidly as our current faithful generation is graduating home. More of our churches are following a national trend of doing their own thing in missions rather than operating within denominational agencies or cooperating with other groups. The point I'm making is that our root system, that which we depend on for prayer and financial support, for personnel, for the vitality and life of our EC missions, is shrinking. While our ministry scope, those international works, continue to grow at a rapid rate. Right now, we are in a true financial crisis. Currently, it takes a little over $1 million to keep our 57 missionaries on the field. These are what we call in and out funds. What you send in to your missionary, we send out. We do not take anything from them for administrative support, nor do we add anything if they happen to be short on their own support. In addition to the missionary support, we need to raise somewhere between $550,000 to $600,000 for our international churches and also the operation of the Global Ministries Commission. Last year, we had to reduce the amount that we sent to our international churches drastically, some up to 80%. Currently, we have missionary candidates who cannot get to their field of service. We have career missionaries who are concerned about staying on their field of service, all because of this shrinking financial support. And as we look to the budget of 2010, things haven't improved at all. I think you will agree with me that immediate action is needed. So, guided by a series of strategic planning retreats, much prayer, consultation with former administrators and directors, discussions with missionaries and church members, the Global Ministries Commission has decided that we need to work on both ends of our GMC tree. We need to prune back the scope of our ministry while we revitalize our root system. That means putting our international churches on a very fast track to becoming more self-sufficient, employing cost containment measures here in administration and operation of the Global Ministries Commission, delaying the deployment of any new missionary candidates until our current candidates are deployed and in place on the field. Reshaping how our congregations are connected with the Global Ministries Commission by using our current districting model. Requiring a more balanced budget, only sending out what we truly take in. So you may be asking, well, what can I do? First and foremost, pray. Ask God to reveal His wisdom and scope to the Global Ministries Commission as we continue with strategic planning. Secondly, participate. Make sure everyone in your church receives the monthly EC prayer calendar and the Window on the World publication, either in print or accessed online at ecglobal.org. Introduce them to the website. Come to GMC events. Invite me to speak. The most important thing is that we all remind ourselves that we are all a vital part of the root system of this GMC tree. Thirdly, give. I would encourage you to consider giving to the Global Ministries Commission just as you would a missionary. We will not be able to continue the international ministries of the EC Church simply based on the support of 2 denominational offerings and a few individual gifts. However, regular support from our 150 United States-based churches would make a huge impact on our international brothers and sisters around the world. At the risk of sounding preachy, let me say this. The Evangelical Congregational Church is on the cutting edge of the worldwide mission movement. Recently, Gene Wood wrote a book called Going Local. His big idea in this book is that local churches, regardless of their size, can have true global impact by simply networking together with other churches. Well, I hate to tell him that this isn't a new idea. As a matter of fact, the Evangelical Congregational Church has been doing this successfully for years. The Global Ministries Commission exists to network our local churches, regardless of their size, for true global impact. From the root systems to the trunk, to the branches, to the leaves, to the fruit. Together, as we pool our resources, we can make a real difference in both word and deed in relation to the gospel of Jesus Christ. Finally, don't overlook the fact that the last words that Jesus left His followers as He ascended to the Father were these: "Go and make disciples of all nations. And be sure of this, I am with you always, even to the end of the age."